I never expected my peaceful farm to turn into a battleground. It was supposed to be my sanctuary, rolling fields, quiet mornings, and the freedom to live life on my terms. But while I was away on a month-long trip, something unbelievable happened. The HOA took it upon themselves to build a massive hotel right in the middle of my land. And what they thought was a done deal, it was their biggest mistake. The unexpected shock, returning to a hotel on my farm. When I came back, I drove down my familiar dirt road only to be blinded by glaring floodlights, honking cars, and the hum of commercial activity. Where my cattle used to roam, now stood a towering multi-story hotel, shiny windows, a sprawling parking lot, and even a restaurant, all smack dab in the middle of my property. My jaw dropped. I checked every document I had. There was absolutely no permission given, no easements granted. The HOA had simply bulldozed part of my farm and declared it common property for their own gain. The confrontation, demanding answers, getting lies. Naturally, I stormed into the HOA office, demanding an explanation. Their president, a smug woman named Karen, smirked and told me the community voted to build the hotel, claiming the land was community-owned. I laughed. My farm was legally titled to me, plain and simple. Karen tried to intimidate me, waving around some dubious community agreements and zoning permits. But I was already steps ahead. The legal trap. Laying the foundation for revenge. You see, before I left on my trip, I had quietly placed a legal encumbrance on the property, a binding covenant that required unanimous written consent from all property owners for any commercial development. Without that, any such construction was null and void. I also had meticulously documented every inch of my land, with precise GPS coordinates, surveyed and registered with the county. The HOA's hotel was built entirely on my privately owned farm, with no permission whatsoever. So when the HOA decided to build without consulting me or getting my signature, they walked right into my legal trap, turning the tables, filing suit, and freezing assets. I immediately contacted my lawyer. We filed a massive lawsuit, not just to stop the hotel, but to claim damages for trespass, illegal construction, and unlawful use of my land. Meanwhile, we sought an injunction to freeze all HOA accounts related to the hotel project. To my satisfaction, the court quickly issued a restraining order, halting all operations and preventing any further commercial activity. The hotel was essentially a ghost town overnight. The fallout: HOA members panic and try to negotiate. With their project on ice and facing millions in potential damages, the HOA members scrambled. Karen, the president, went from cocky to desperate, sending frantic emails and requesting emergency meetings to resolve this amicably. But I wasn't interested in deals. They had ignored my property rights, trampled over my farm, and turned a blind eye to the law. The final blow: reclaiming my farm and forcing accountability. The lawsuit gained traction fast. County officials and even the state's zoning board began investigating how the HOA managed to get permits without my consent. The HOA's permit approvals were declared invalid due to fraud and misrepresentation. Eventually, the court ruled in my favor. The hotel was ordered to be dismantled and removed at the HOA's expense. All property was returned to me, free and clear. Even better, I won a substantial settlement for damages, legal fees, and loss of farm income. Lessons learned. Standing firm against power. This entire ordeal taught me a valuable lesson. Property rights are sacred, and you can't just bulldoze your way through them. The HOA thought they could steamroll me while I was gone, but they underestimated how prepared I was. Now my farm is back to being my peaceful haven, and the HOA members think twice before trying to pull a stunt like that again. Because in this battle, I wasn't just a farmer, I was a legal fortress.